If you are not a fan of NVIDIA, and I can kind of see why in the last few years, especially since the 40 series was launched with melting cables and connectors and driver issues and the cost of the cards. But despite all that, well, this is going to really get under a lot of people's skin. The RTX 50 series has delivered a record breaking $4.28 billion, and this is just in gaming revenue. Now, if you enjoy this content, you can do everything that's up here: like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and of course, comment. But to add to all of that, you can watch this video right to the end. It kind of helps with the odd YouTube algorithm. So NVIDIA really started from grassroots, and look at them now. I mean, they are excelling almost in every single thing they touch, which does upset a lot of people. And there is reason for gamers to be upset with the RTX 50 series cards and the 40 series cards, especially because of the connectors, because of the driver issues that people are having with them, and the the tracks that they're going down when it comes to AI, with frame generation and DLSS and upscaling and all this kind of stuff. However, with graphical engines kind of getting ahead in a way of a lot of the hardware horsepower that is needed, because in order to, for example, use Unreal Engine in some games now, even with a 5090, it's going to struggle unless you use some kind of AI to mitigate that, which is pathetic, but that's where we are. Now, you can say what you want to about Unreal Engine 5 and NVIDIA, or for that matter, AMD or Intel. I mean, everything is headed towards AI, and for good or for bad, that's the path that we are going down. I mean, the new phones, like for example, the Google Pixel 10, it's based kind of like in AI, and that's the whole premise behind it. Now, a lot of people, there's a movement, of course, against AI and against all this stuff and privacy and whatnot. But if you're in the mainstream and if you're wanting to game and have a PC gaming rig, boy, is it ever going to cost you a lot of money. And with all that money is going to come a lot of frustration with drivers and compatibility. And then you have to deal, for now at least, with Windows 11 and Microsoft and everything that entails. So it's very, very complicated. So some people would say that it all started with the RTX 30 series cards, and they were super fast, really another level, really, of performance. And people used them not only for gaming, but also crypto mining. And then, of course, the 40 series came out, and they were pretty popular, although the connector is very poor, and I'm being kind when I say poor, but yeah, the 50 series then use the same connector, more power is required, and then you get melting cables. And there's been issues with NVIDIA being able to put out a reliable driver. Now, there are reliable, stable drivers overall, but the majority of them aren't that reliable. And it is what it is. I mean, you take your chances when you update. If you are thinking about updating your driver, if a new driver is released, be sure to do lots of research and be certain that you really need to update. If it's not a new game, or you don't absolutely need it for a program or application or something, don't update it. If your system is stable, keep the driver that you actually have. But yeah, it's kind of started with 30 series, and now we're into the 50 series, and next year the 60 series. But with all the pricing going through the roof, and gaming rigs now, high-end gaming rigs costing $4,000 to $6,000, PC gaming is out of reach for, unfortunately, the majority of people, and that is really ridiculous. The PC gaming side of things, I think, is going to be a niche market where only a few gamers are really going to be able to afford to be in this, and who knows, if maybe will die off completely. I don't think it will be, hopefully not, but it might, because you have handhelds, you have consoles, and those are much cheaper options. You don't get the same experience, but it's still fun to play the game. Now, it would seem that, and dare I say this, prices are stabilizing. And there's, I think, a couple of reasons for this. And the first one is, well, these cards have been out for months and months and months now. So it's about time for them to stabilize. Maybe stock levels have increased. But there's another reason, because NVIDIA is releasing the super versions of some of these RTX 50 series cards with more VRAM and sometimes, faster core speeds and memory speeds and all the rest of it. And I think that is maybe going to lower the non-super versions of the 50 series cards. Listen, if you can pick up a 5070 Ti, not a super version, an RTX 5080, not a super version, at a decent price, there's no reason not to do it. If you really want to get into gaming or replace your current rig and play a game and just basically enjoy yourself. Now, this is 2025, and I think it is as close as we are going to get to the Twilight Zone. Everything in life now is terribly expensive. So if you can grab a video card, a CPU, a motherboard, some memory, or whatever, and build your own system for a decent price, I say go ahead and grab it, pull the trigger on that, or get a pre-built. Some of them now are, well, $500, $1,000 off. But, it is what it is. And despite that, and despite what you think of NVIDIA, despite what you think of Intel or AMD, I'll leave Intel actually out of this for now because they are not doing so well. But AMD and NVIDIA are excelling, and these companies are doing extremely well, making record profits.